Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at Elyon, God Most High. Today's video was inspired by a new friend to the channel, Julia Hobe. Moving right along, mythology tells us one thing, while archaeology tells us another. Who was Elyon? Was he a god of the Levant? Was he the God Most High, ranked even above Yahweh? Today we will explore these questions as we attempt to discover the true identity of this enigmatic God. Let's start with his name. Elyon is an epithet that appears in the Hebrew Bible. Elyon is usually rendered in English as God Most High, and similarly in the Septuagint as God the Highest. The title of Elyon is a common topic of scholarly debate. This is because sometimes it is interpreted as equal to the Abrahamic God. Another point of view is that Elyon is a completely separate deity of its own kind and potentially above that of Yahweh. Outside of biblical context, the term also has mundane uses such as upper, the top, or uppermost, when referring simply to the position of objects. In the Hebrew Bible, Genesis 14:18 through 20, we first see God referred to in the compound name Elyon. The form appears again almost immediately in verse 22. Here it is used by Abraham. We also find the same compound expressions in Psalm 78:35. Sometimes there is a variation to the name, which is Elohim Elyon. In the Masoretic text, which defines the Jewish canon, the name is clearly defined along with its spelling and vocalization. One school of thought is that the reference to Elyon in Genesis 14:19 through 22 resembles Canaanite religious traditions. This is also pointed out by Philo of the Byblos in his account of Phoenician history. In their religious practices, Elyon was the progenitor of both Uranos and Gaia, which is the sky and the earth. With regard to the expression of the Elyon Most High, standing alone is found in many poetic passages, especially in Psalms. We can also find Elyon in Numbers 24:16 as a separate name parallel with El. It also appears in Moses' final song in Deuteronomy 32:8. Can this then be regarded as Elyon being a separate deity from Yahweh and suggest that Elyon is an even higher deity than Yahweh? Most in the scholar community would argue that separating El and Yahweh would present an inconsistency with the biblical writers who were in fact monotheists. In some cases, Elyon is used in preference to Yahweh, such as in Psalm 97:9. What about outside of the biblical text? Can we find the god Elyon? The most controversial of these uses outside of the Bible is in the Sephar Stele. 3 Aramaic treaty inscriptions were found at the Sephira, which is 16 miles or 26 kilometers southeast of Aleppo. These stelae date back to roughly 700 before the Common Era. Listed are major patron deities of each side listed in pairs. These include El and Elyon, seemingly two separate gods. Then again, it is possible that these indicate two aspects of the same god. A good example of this can be found in the Ugaritic text, where their deities are listed by their dual aspects. Therefore, Elyon, though unique, could be interpreted as one single deity. Keep in mind that God did not give his name. When asked, he told Moses, "I am that I am." This is found in Exodus 3:14. This was because in antiquity it was believed that to get a deity to do one's bidding, he had to be called on by name. Elohim is the name of God most frequently used in the Hebrew Bible. As Judaism became a universal rather than a merely local religion, the more common Hebrew noun Elohim, plural in form, yet understood in singular, meaning God, came to replace Yahweh. This was done to demonstrate the universal sovereignty of Israel's God over all others. What do you think? Are Elyon and Yahweh all one and the same? Let us know what you think. This brings us to the end of Elyon, God Most High. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Traveler's Tales. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. We greatly appreciate when you become a friend of the channel. Until we meet again at the crossroads of folklore and fact, Kartistos.